Howdy folks, welcome back to 50 Knock Mile Arc. Today we are looking at a new plane that I purchased. This is the Just Flight PA-28R, or the Aero 3. And this is supposed to be the definitive new benchmark for pay-where aircraft for X-Plane 11. It's supposed to be that good. And I sure hope it's good. It was like $42 or something. I've been wanting a plane like this for a very, very long time. I was using the Coronado Piper Archer, but that model was never all that great. And then in X-Plane 11, it was completely unusable. So hopefully this fits the bill. I don't have many small GA. I have the Twin Otter, which isn't that small, and there's always the default Cessna. But I wanted something very high quality and very representative of general aviation, and this should be it. So the Aero 3. Now normally I would not spend this kind of money on an airplane. In fact, I told myself I was done buying aircraft, but I got a little bonus at work. I won Employee of the Month for December, and that came with a little cash bonus. So I'm like, you know what, now is my chance to buy something I normally would not spend money on, and this is it. So I guess that means I'm joining the big leagues and I better start acting like one. I kind of feel like I have no business owning and flying this aircraft, but hopefully I'll build up some confidence here and do a good job with this. I've not read the documentation that comes with it because I was excited to jump in and fly. I have seen some other YouTubers do videos though, so I have an idea about what needs to go into this. Pretty serious aircraft, even though it's a little GA guy. So you gotta do everything right or you're gonna have problems. And hopefully I will succeed. Not much more to say than that. So let's get started. So first of all, this thing looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, that goes without saying. The model is just incredible, as every single person on YouTube has said who has flown this thing. And you wouldn't expect anything less. So Just Flight, this is their first aircraft at the time of this recording for X-Plane 11. In the FSX and P3D world, though, I believe they're known as a pretty high-end commercial designer, I think. I don't know anything about P3D, and I used to fly FSX until a couple years ago, so I could be wrong, but for those of you who are X-Plane exclusive like myself, Just Flight is new to X-Plane 11, but they're not new to the flight sim world in general. So keep that in mind in regards to the price of this thing and the quality that is expected of this. So there's a little introduction to the airplane. I'm super excited to fly this thing. I can't believe I bought this thing. I can't believe I own this thing and spent that much money. But hopefully I can do justice. I haven't done anything other than go through the liveries. I chose this one and I set up like 14 or 15 presets. If you are unaware that you can have 20 presets in X-Plane 11, go back a couple videos on my channel and I explain how to set up 11 through 20. And why am I getting a clicking? That was weird. You hear that? Huh. Strange. Okay, whatever. There's some clicking when I open that window. So it's a little more to this plane than the Piper Archer was, because the Archer did not have autopilot, and I don't think it had GPS. But we still have the radios. We can still do slant alpha stuff. You know. Nothing unusual about that. Otherwise, everything else, I'm just getting familiar with this aircraft. Like I said, I have not read the manual or anything. We can put that back in. Let's put that one back in too. This does have our chrono clock on it, so we can set our time there if we need to. I believe down here you have your fuel and everything, and your tanks. Oil temp, oil pressure, all the same stuff that the Archer had as well. So let's get this back in. And what is this up here? Warning, gear unsafe. Oh, gear down, gear up. And there's checklists here too, but there's also built-in checklists. So that's what the cabin looks like. Does this move? This doesn't move. These move though. And our temperature should be right. 25-ish degrees, 27 degrees. Yes, that would be correct. We are in Minnesota. We're a flying cloud in Minnesota. Real world weather's turned on. So, very cold. I don't know what this thing does for icing because there's a little, no, whoops, no, not you. There's a little thing here that says this aircraft approved for night IFR non-icing flight when equipped. Must be operated in normal category airplane compliance. I don't see any icing stuff on here, except the alt air. So, which isn't even icing. So we'll see how this goes. We are in very cold weather. I don't know enough about icing conditions to know if that means we shouldn't be flying at all. If we crash, I'll just crank up the temperature manually so we don't die. Otherwise, that's from the cabin. If you haven't seen it yet, thank you for viewing my video on this. Cabin air, that doesn't move in this one. The reason why I say that is because I know there's like 300 people on YouTube who have already shown this off. I'm not the first one, so this is probably not the first time you've seen this. But if it is the first time you've seen it, thank you for sharing your first experience in this aircraft with me. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you this thing here. So you can open and close the doors with this panel here. The biggest door you have to do from here because I don't think there's a way inside. However, you don't have to close the main door with your control panel. You can close it from here. It worked earlier. Hey, come on. It worked earlier. Maybe you do have to close it from here, and this is just the lock. Okay, maybe that's just a lock, and then we have a safety latch here as well. Alrighty. I guess I was wrong. I swore I opened and closed this. There it is. No, that's... I swore I opened and closed this door without the panel earlier. And then push. Push. There we go. Yeah, I knew you could do it. There we go. See, you can do this without the little control panel. There we go. That pulls it tight and that latches it. Okay, back on track. This brings in your GPS, but it pops in the way. And then window reflections, which I honestly think look absolutely hideous. Let me turn those on too. So, window reflections, I really am not a fan of. I mean, it looks too minimalist without them, but it's a little too much with them. So we're going to turn those off. Same thing with the gauge reflections. Quite minimalist without them, but a little too much of a good thing with them. So I'm going to keep those off as well. Let's see what else here. Light. Obviously dome light. You can, oh wait, no, that must be something else because I see something reflecting off. I see something reflecting off my, I'll tell you what I'm talking about if you hop inside. Look at the prop. There's like a reflection on there. But yet it's this light right here. See that? Flashlight's on. Flashlight's off. Flashlight's on. Flashlight's off. Anyway. What else? Autopilot, which is nice because it is down here, but it's going to be behind the yoke. And I like to fly with my yokes visible, so autopilot would be obstructed. So there's autopilot. Pretty simple. Autopilot on and off. Roll. Heading on and off. And then you can do local, normal, reverse, or localizer, normal, reverse, Omni, and nav. I'm not sure what Omni means yet, but by the time you watch this video, I will know because I'm going to read the manual right after I finish this recording. This is for your barometer. If we hop in here, you can see right now it's set to 29 or 9 or 7 because I already looked at the weather. But this changes it to the other option of units. Now, there's auto fuel switch. Now, in this aircraft, you need to switch fuel. Can't remember if it's every 20 or 25 minutes or something, but you have to switch back and forth because the fuel's in the wings, yet it's such a lightweight aircraft, you have to use the fuel balanced or it'll be hard to control. So you're supposed to switch tanks back and forth at a certain period of time, but because that's kind of labor intensive, when you're flying in a sim, you have this auto fuel switch. Leave that on, it'll switch for you. Here you go, you can check out what's going on, kind of like if you had, I don't know, a diagnostics thing plugged into the airplane, I guess. You can tell here then your fuel left and right and everything else. Spark plug fouling, vapor lock. I have to read about that because I'm not sure what to do when those things get bad. I have to read about that. Here, it's your weight, balance, and fuel, but it pulled it from the X-Plane 11 menu. So this is X-Plane 11 menu. 3 hours and 9 minutes. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's turn that down. So anyway, that comes from there, but you can get to it either from your normal menu or through here. sound control for all the different volumes. Oh, it moves around. That's nice. And then do not hit that lightning bolt. It'll reload the aircraft running. Here's checklist that we'll go through. Here's more diagnostic stuff. You can just check all that out if you want to, if you're interested in all that. And then logbook, which comes from X-Plane 11's log. I've been doing this for 57 hours. You've got to be kidding me. Holy, 110 landings. Is this right? Wow. Cross country. I've done lots of cross country. How come there are all zeros? Interesting. Total hours, half hour. Oh, that's a small flight. Hour. Interesting. I've actually never looked at the log before. That again comes from X-Plane 11. Ground handling, that comes from X-Plane 11. And your chocks outside, which, let me spin around here. Those are your tie downs and your wheel chocks, literally. So there you go. Everything is from there. You cannot move this up and down. I was hoping I could drag this down or something, but you can't. It's stuck right there. Change livery is obviously change your livery. So anyway, everything's closed up. We have everything set. So let's open up our checklist now, which looks like a big check. Now this you can move. That's a movable window. Now what's really cool about this is as you go through this, you can click on it, it'll turn to green, and it'll stay green. And then the next time you go through it, change back to red. So you can go back and forth. How much of this are we going to do every flight? I am not sure, because it is a simulator. It is what you make of it. I don't know if you need to do all kinds of stuff. But let's just go through this super quick. Level gear is down. Parking brake is set, I think. Yeah, it was set. That's what I thought. Avionics are off. Cut off. Magneto switch is hiding there. That is off. Battery master switch on. Let me pull up my fancy view, which I think is 5. Battery. No, battery alt. Man, my eyes. Alt off. There we go. Battery switch on. Fuel gauges. Check quantity. Fuel. About 10 on both. Annunciator panel. That really doesn't apply to us right now. Battery master off. There we go. Primary flight controls. That is when you do your left, right, back, forth, up, down, and rudder, which I normally don't do in my flights. Flap operation check, which you can't really do from the outside in real life, but trim. Now it's hiding down there. We're gonna have to say it's neutral. I gotta figure out a preset for that possibly. Baggage door closed. Flaps and airing on check. Wingtip lights undamaged. Remove the tie down. That's gonna. Oh, they already removed themselves. I did something that removed them. Okay. Fuel tank. You already checked the levels. Gauges. Oh, like gauges up here. You literally check the levels. Okay, fine. Chocks removed. Again, it did itself. Tow bar. It's already off. Engine inspector. Oil level check. You know all these things that we are not going to do every time I do a video. Brakes, circuits, alternator air off. Is it? Closed. That is alternate air, right? Alt air. Propeller full forward. Okay. Avionics off. Fuel select your desired tank. Oh, good thing that's in there, because I would have screwed that up. There we go. But this still is on auto. All right, engine start. Here we go. Wish me luck, everybody. Throttle. 1/2 inch open. All right. Alternator switch on. Can't really see. Alternator switch on. Battery master on. Can we get back there with the prop forward? There we go. Fuel pump. That's this one on. Mixture rich, which is there, and that actually should move our flow gauge. And then back off again. Propeller clear. Clear prop. We're starter engage. That's what this is, right? Isn't it? I feel like an idiot right now. Mixture full rich. Engine start confirm. Oh, by the way, I just remembered, you're not supposed to hold that down. You're just supposed to mouse wheel. So what I just did, don't do it. Yes, we'll hit Y on our keyboard. Full rich, engine started confirmed, magneto switch both. It should, yeah, went back to both on its own. Throttle adjust. Will it let us go all the way down without dying? There we go. Oil pressure is over on the left, right in the middle. Throttle 1400 to 1500. Well, there's 5. I assume that's 500. And there's 1400 right there. There we go. So, quickly, what I was saying about this. You're supposed to just mouse wheel, scroll wheel to start and let go. For some reason I held it because in all other aircraft you hold it. But in that air, you just don't do that yourself. I screwed up. Oh my gosh, this is loud. I don't know what it's like for you. Let's turn that down. Holy moly. Taxi area clear. Parking brake release. Throttle apply slowly. Parking brake release. Throttle apply slowly. Brakes check. Brakes work. Steering check. Let's go again. My parking brake isn't on, is it? No. Alright. What's next? Ground check. We will close this for right now. And it should come back right to there. We're just going to... Whoa. Whoa. Is it really this easy to turn in real life? Holy cow. Maybe it is. It takes like no effort at all. Alright, can I really look at a checklist while I'm taxiing though? Let's see. Parking... Oh, ground check. That's at the end. Okay, that's our run up. Alright, let's hide this then until we get to the end. Where are we going? We're just going out to the right. Runway 10 right is where we'll take off. So don't worry, we are not going to go through all those details every time we fly this thing. It didn't say anything about taxi lights on our checklist, did it? Let me see. Taxiing. Taxi area clear. Parking brake release. Throttle apply slowly. Brakes check. Steering check. Because this is all run-up stuff. Right? The ground check. That's your run-up. Before takeoff. Maybe there aren't... Whoops, let me hide this. Maybe there aren't taxi lights in this. I'll have to look in a second. Let's just get onto the runway safely here. Let's see. Whoa. It almost stalled on us. Alright, let's stop a second. Let's see here. Runway's over there. No airplanes turning around, so let's keep going. This airport in real life, even though it's called Flying Cloud, the nickname is Flying Crowd because it's so busy. This is like where all the executive jets land if they're not landing at the main MSP airport. This is where a whole bunch of flight schools are. A lot of people have their vintage planes stored here. So yeah, they call it Flying Crowd. It's kind of funny. I learned that when I asked my uncle if he flew out of here, and he laughed at me. He's like, not on a Flying Crowd. He doesn't fly anymore, by the way. He crashed his plane too many times. He would build experimental planes and crash them all. So he doesn't fly anymore. I'm totally doing this the wrong way, aren't I? Alright. Anyway, let's stop here. No, let's stop the next one because there's no ILS right now. So we can go up. Alright. So far so good. This thing was really easy to taxi and turn. Alright, let's stop here. Let's see, where's my parking brake? I just want to see if there's a... Were there taxi lights? Landing lights. Beacon. Pitot heat. Okay, no, there weren't taxi lights. Well, apparently it doesn't want us to turn the engine off. Maybe because it's so cold for the throttle. Maybe it's too cold. Alright, back to checklist. Parking brake is set. Propeller full forward. It has been the whole time. Throttle 2000. Here we go. 2000 magnetos. Max 175 RPM drop. So we'll go left. Both. Right. No drop on that one. Yeah, just a little bit. Alrighty, cool. Vacuum in hinge. Where's that? I don't know where that is. I have to learn. Lower pressure check. In the green. Ammeter. Shouldn't that say amp meter? No. The amps are in the middle. Is that what that's just amp meter? Press annunciator panel. That would be like your warnings and cautions. Press to test. I don't know where that is. I will have to look up where that is. But it would be like press to make noise. Propeller exercise, then full forward. Exercise? Is that all the way back? And why did my parking brake? Oh, torquing. Okay. That would be torquing, apparently. Alternate air. That must be this. This is alt air. Again, I'll read about it. Fuel pump off. I'm going to have a preset where I can get back here. Because this isn't working. Let's make my preset this. 5, I think it was. Yeah. Fuel pump. Oh, come on. Off. Put my prop back in. Fuel pressure check. That would be back over here, right? Yep. Right, almost in the middle. Throttle, retard. Let's see if it's going to turn off, though. Let's see. Is it going to stay running? Because it stalled last time. There we go. Stayed running this time. Now we're warming up. It's really cold outside. Before takeoff, battery on. Let's do my new preset. Battery on. Yep. Alt on. Yep. Instruments. Oh, see, it's going to turn off. I already did the check. I hit Y on my keyboard, which I'm using for my gyro thing. Fuel selector, desired tank already on. Fuel pump on again? Okay. Fuel pump on. Engine checks. Check. We already did the engine check. Alternate air closed. Mixture is set. Yeah. Flaps. Aha. Flaps. Don't we have a flap gauge? I guess we don't have a flap gauge in this one. What's this? AGT. Manifold pressure. I don't see a flap gauge. Okay. Maybe there's one. I just have to read about it. Trim set. Controls are free and doors are latched. Yes, they are. Again, I already said this twice. We're not going to go through all of this every time we fly this thing. I just want to do this for the first time with y'all. Alright, let's go back to our view and go out to the runway, because that was the next checklist. So far, so good. That door's little window's closed, right? Yeah. Alright, let's bring this down because we can. No, let's not. That's in the way. Alright, here we go. Slowing down. Alright, let's make sure we don't go all the way to idle because it seems to stall out. So far, I'm enjoying this. Haven't even flown yet. Alright, let's stop here. We're lined up with the runway. Parking brake is set. Oh, let's not let it stall out. What was the next checklist item say? Line up and runway. Check DI to compass. Yes, I already did that. Flaps are set. Trim is set. Throttle full power. Rotation at 65. Climb at 75. Altitude airborne. Brakes apply. Retract gear. 300 feet. Flaps are in. Alright, I don't want this up when we do that, so we're going to keep that like that while we take off. Okay, here we go. So, whoa. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. We can do it. I'm really nervous. I'm really self-conscious about this. Going out left side of the road. Alright, gear up. Flaps in, just like it said. What did it say? Climb at 85? I forgot already. Checklist. I really don't want this open though, but what did it say? Climb at 75. Initial climb. Well, we're doing 85. Above 1,000 feet, fuel pump comes off. Lights as required. Full power. Okay. Climb speed 90. I know I'm coming the wrong way. So fuel pump comes off and lights come on, essentially. Power refer to tables. Fuel selector change every 15 minutes. See, I was talking about that. Every 15 you change. All right, so where's my preset for this? Fuel pump off. Off. These lights should have been... See, why weren't these lights on before they had us take off? Hey, we're climbing at 95, just like they said. I did something right. All right, what I want to do now is... Well, let's bring back power and Let's bring this back. We don't want to keep in the red. So I'll have to look at that performance table I was talking about. There we go. Let's bring that back. And then that'll determine, like, our performance, everything we need to do. Now here, this does instrument lights. Yep. That's pretty cool. Little bright. There's another one here for the radios, it said. There we go. Yep. Alrighty. Cool. This thing right now is flying super, super smooth. Oh my goodness. So let's check some things out here because I don't want to blow anything up or start on fire. Just the performance table. Fuel selector, descent as required, apply power every 1,500 feet, landing, gear down, trim for 75, okay. Approach, trim for 75, that's shut down. We'll keep that up just in case we need it. Otherwise, we got some IMC, but let's turn around and see if we can land this thing. Oh, wow, this behaves amazing. Wow. Step on the ball a little bit here. Whoop, a little too sharp. Wow, this is super easy to fly. This is way nicer than the Coronado that I was trying to fly. I knew it's just a terrible job because it was so difficult. Whoops, stepping on the ball here, coordinate my turn. Let's not keep climbing. Let's just do a little circuit here. I did not set my runway, so I don't know. Let's see, 10. Just keep going here. We're at 15. I don't know we're parallel back to the runway when we're at. Oh, do you hear the fuel selector switch on its own? Did you hear that? See, what was my... See, look at that. It switched the other tank all by itself. That's amazing. Alright, let's see. 9, 11, and 10. So now we're parallel to the runway, which we can't see because we're in the clouds. Alright, this is very cool. Wow, this is so easy to fly. Let's bring back power even more. Was that telling me something about the flaps probably? Or the gear, I mean. Auto extend off. Okay. This is so cool. There's our airport up there, and we're parallel to the runway, just like I said we should be. We'll have to get down below the clouds because I did not tune in the ILS. I wonder if ILS is on the map. I don't think it tells me on here. Nope. I don't think it tells me. I have to pull up SkyVector to get the ILS for this airport. But we should come down below the clouds soon and we'll figure it out. But oh my goodness, this thing is so smooth. It's so easy to fly. Oh, I love that sound. Panning in the ears. Whoa. Hard on the ears though. Alrighty, so we're flying over the airport. Perfectly parallel to the runway. We're going to come down below the clouds and do a tight turn and then try to land. I say try to land because I don't have ILS tuned in. This aircraft. Wow, 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 wow. I'm going to read every word of every document about this thing and learn everything I can. And this will definitely, obviously, be in my rotation of aircraft that I fly. Alright, we're going to bring the power down so I can make a big U-turn. Try to get below these clouds so that I can land without ILS. Otherwise, let me see here. I have the ILS memorized from KMSP. I should have just landed there. But I don't have it memorized for this airport. What's that telling me? Because I don't have gear down? Flaps? Okay. Either gear or flaps. It was warning me. That's fine. That's fine. I gotta turn around. We know it's 10. Whoa, did you hear the sound completely change with the flaps down? Whoops, I'm stepping on the wrong ball here. There we go. Step on the ball on the right side. Did you hear the sound completely change with the flaps? You hear all that drag? That's amazing. Alright, so this is runway heading. And I can't tell if we're right or left of the runway. Is that it up there? Yeah, I think that's it up there. I can't tell. I don't have any instruments tuned into the airport. Let's see if that's it. I think that's it up there. I should have known better too, because when I looked up the meta before I started the sim, it said low visibility. Yeah, that's it right there. Next set of flaps. Gear is down. Yes, I have to change my hat switch on my yoke. I keep doing the wrong thing with it. Alright. Let's just keep it in sight here. Landing checklist, quickly. What, 75, let's see, gear down. It doesn't tell me what landing speed is, but it says trim for 75 knots. So we're going to assume we're going to land about 75 knots. Let's put the props forward. Oh, there's 3 sets of flaps in the sky. Okay. Flaps down all the way. I don't think I need them all the way, but they are. We're doing 75 knots right now. And why are there trees in the way? Oh no, those are trees. Those are cell phone towers. Even though we're too high on the glide slope. Okay. Whatever. Alrighty. Here we go. Pitch the controls. Now it's a turbo, or it's a variable speed prop, so we do not go to idle to land this thing. You'll sink like a rock. So throttles are up about halfway. More throttle, more throttle, more throttle. Flare lightly. Let it come down on its own. Come on, you can do it. Come down on its own. Flare, there we go. I know I'm landing long. Come on. Are you gonna come down now? There we go. Hold it off. Hold it off. Okay, we'll just land halfway down the road. There we go. Nice. Nose wheel down. Throttle's back now. Flaps coming in. Yes, I know I landed left to center line. I always land left to center line. Get over it. We're just going to roll this out. Brakes now. There we go. Nice and quiet. Very quiet, actually. Startling quiet. Let's go back over here. And let's stop here. And parking brake. Alright, let's look at this checklist here and see. Approach, fullest tank, fuel pump on. Okay, we would have turned that on. Mixer set, full forward, I knew that. Gear down, flaps, trim for 75. Okay, shut down. Flaps, retract, we did. Fuel pump off. There it is. Avionics off. I didn't really see an avionics switch. I just see alternator and battery. Electrical switch is off. Anything on here to turn off the throttle? Yeah, there's, okay. So battery switches, electrical switches off. Like that. Propeller full forward it is. Throttle closed. Idle cut off. Magneto's off. Where was that one? Over here. So you just mouse wheel it. Alternator switch. Okay, so electrical switches off, alternator battery off. Wasn't that your electrical switches? I got some reading to do. Next page. Engine fire. We're not going to go through emergency checklist. So I think what I'll do is I'll take these checklists and make my own out of them based on how I use the sim, like I said. Otherwise, let's unlatch this, unlock the door, and then push it open. Okay, down to open and up to close. No, down to open, down to close. Okay, whatever. Let's come out here then and open up our baggage door. There we go. We made it. Some strange things in the checklist, like turning on your lights when you're in climb, which doesn't make sense. I don't think. Everything else I've flown, you turn on the lights before that, but whatever. We'll make sense of it off camera and put something together. But this thing not only looks amazing, as to be expected, it flies way better than I expected. Granted, I'm used to broken aircraft, so maybe I have a odd perception anyway, because I'm used to broken aircraft. But this thing is, to me, in this short amount of time already, as amazing as it should be. I'm going to fly this thing a lot. This is great. This will be my small GA aircraft for sure. Yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. I cannot wait to read all about it. I can't wait to practice. I can't wait to land down the center line and at the target point and not a mile down the runway. But we'll get there. We didn't crash. We survived our first flight in the Aero 3. Hope you enjoy as much as I did. You'll be seeing this again soon, and I'll catch you on the next one.